everyone, welcome back to Isobe Food. We're midweek here in New York. The air is getting slightly crisp, a little chilly, fall's right around the corner, and that means one thing, it's comfort food season. I cannot wait. So for me, that's like all my childhood delicious home-cooked meals from my mom and my dad, recipes that their mom and dad passed down from them, and so forth, probably back to the mainland. But what that means to me is really one dish, and that's Japanese curry. I mean, it's the most beloved dish in all of Japan. Everybody loves curry. Yeah. Ramen's great, ramen's good, but ain't got nothing on curry. And the whole thing is, how did curry even come to Japan? Well, let's find out.
How did anything get anywhere back in the olden days? Before cars, and trains, and planes? Ships. No, ships. Sailors, merchants, and traders? That's right. Specifically, the British East India Company during the early 1600s. Travels to India brought curry back to Great Britain.
It's delicious. Oh my gosh, it's delicious.
Fast forward to the British Raj, sailors introduced their version of curry to Japan in the late 1860s. It was a hit and became a staple for Japanese army and naval fleets. Today, curry in Japan is booming with a whole host of prepared curry powder and brick products as well as shelf-stable, ready-to-eat sauces.
So it really is the ultimate Japanese comfort food, and it's stood the test of time. You know, there's tons of variations across the country with different types of meats and vegetables, but one thing kind of remains constant, it's the ultimate marriage between savory and sweet. So today we're going to be taking a look at how to make curry roux from scratch. Now, generally, whenever my parents have made it, or I've made it in the past, we use curry bricks. And a lot of different types of brands out there, but one of them kind of like reigns supreme above them all, which is S&B Curry brand. Right? So S&B comes in a very dense brick form, and they also make curry powder. But this golden curry is kind of like what I call the standard, right? It was like the first type that I ever had, and it's probably my favorite. Nonetheless, I found out after a lot of research that you can actually make curry roux bricks at home without the preservatives, without the MSG or high sodium, and it includes a number of delicious whole spices like fennel seed, mustard seed, turmeric, ginger. The list goes on, and all these little players create this big umami bomb, full of comfort, full of deliciousness. Be sure to check out isobefood.com for the written recipe and all the ingredients. Let's get started.
Place the bay leaf, cardamom seeds, cinnamon stick, cloves, coriander seeds, cumin seeds, fennel seeds, fenugreek seeds, mustard seeds, and star anise into a large pan. Toast over medium heat until fragrant, being sure not to burn the spices. Grind the spices in a spice blender into a fine powder and reserve to a bowl. Break up the kombu and shiitake mushroom into small chunks and pulse to grind slightly. Add in the peppercorns and continue to grind to a fine powder. Transfer the mixture to a bowl. Add in the ground ginger, turmeric, garam masala, chili powder, kosher salt, cayenne pepper, hot paprika, dried thyme, and orange zest. Mix to fully incorporate. In a large pot, melt the vegetable oil and butter over medium heat. Add in the flour and stirring the bottom continuously, cook the roux through its blonde and light brown stages until it reaches almost a brick red hue, about 30 to 35 minutes. In a separate pan, sweat the grated onion and vegetable oil over medium heat. Continue to cook, stirring often, until the onion has browned and caramelized, about 25 minutes. Once the roux has reached its brick red to brown stage, turn off the heat and add in the caramelized onions. Stir often to incorporate. Add in the spice mixture and continue to stir until fully combined. Divide the curry roux between two parchment-lined bread loaf pans. Top the roux with another sheet of parchment paper, and using another loaf pan, press down and compact the roux into a uniform brick. Let the roux cool slightly and place into the freezer for about 30 minutes to cool and solidify. Once hard, cut each brick into 18 equal cubes. Stir in the freezer for up to 3 months. Heat a large, heavy bottom pot over high heat for 1 minute. Add in the vegetable oil and brown the chuck shoulder on all sides, working in batches so that you don't overcrowd the pan. Reserve the brown beef to a plate. Add in chopped onion and a pinch of kosher salt. Sweat the onions until slightly translucent and add in celery, the beef, 3 smashed cloves of garlic, a bay leaf, and chicken stock. Scrape the bottom of the pot to remove the brown bits of fond. Bring to the boil over high heat, skimming the top of any foam that rises. Once to the boil, reduce the heat to low, loosely cover with a lid, and simmer for 1 hour. Skim the fat off the top by placing half of the pot over the gas burner on high heat. This will push most of the fat to one side, making it easier to scoop. Finally, grate in a Fuji apple and add in sake, mirin, and ketchup. Dissolve 4 curry bricks into the stew using a mesh strainer and the side of a spatula. Bring back to the boil, reduce the heat to low, and simmer for 30 minutes. Forget to focus your camera and ruin the entire shot. Add in parsnips, carrots, and Japanese yams and continue to cook until slightly tender. Dissolve another 2 to 4 curry bricks one at a time until the stew has a thick yet smooth consistency. Finish everything off with a half cup of soy sauce, mixing to fully incorporate. Serve with a side of sticky Japanese rice and assorted tsukemono pickles like asazuke and benishoga. This really turned out great. It's savory and slightly sweet with a delicious curry flavor that develops over time and is even more delicious the next day. Plus, I now have curry bricks ready to go whenever I need them. Cut prep time down by sauteing chicken and veggies and dissolving the curry bricks into a few cups of chicken stock for a quick meal any night of the week. That does it for me. Be sure to come back next time to Isobe Food, where you get what you need to succeed in the kitchen. I'm your host Jamie, and I'll catch y'all next time.